Welcome to Woot, your smart shopping list. The shopping list is going to learn your shopping patterns and recommend products for you to buy based on your frequency of shopping. When you come to the landing page, you see our beautiful logo, and you have an option to either create a new shopping list or join your friend's shopping list. Your friend is going to have to share a token with you in order for you to join the shopping list. I'm going to try to log in without entering a token, and I will get an error message that won't let me do that. That goes away in about 2 seconds. And if I just type in random words, same thing happens. So instead, I'm going to try to log in with an actual user token. Here we go. The very first view we are taken to is the list view. This is where you will see a beautiful shopping list. And note that you're on the list right here. At the bottom, you have a navigation bar with the list view or an add item view. Note that your route changes when you go to the add item view. Let's go back to the list. Let's say you want to share your list with your friend. Just open up this accordion at the top and share your user token with your friend. Your friend will be able to add items to the same list as you. And I'm going to pass this on to Sam, who's going to walk us through the list items on the list.
Thanks, Tatiana. As you can see here, we are in our grocery container. On the top, we have our search item field. This allows us to filter our list based on what we enter. So if I were to look for Oreos, I can type in Oreos, and that should immediately appear. To the right of the search field, we have this X button. If I click on it, it should clear out this field. The button also disappears when there's nothing in this field. If I want to look for bananas, you can see bananas appears. I can also look for something that's less specific, like if I type in the letter T, all the items that have the letter T in it appear. Once I start being a little bit more specific, we can filter it down to a specific item. Clear it here. I can also type in an item without thinking about caps. So if I type in water in all capital letters, water should still appear. Right below, we have our legend. These icons signify when an item should be purchased next. So as you see in our list, these icons appear to the left of each item. On the top, we have our items that we need to purchase soon. Right below, kind of soon. On the bottom, we have not soon. And on the very bottom, we have an inactive item. You can also see that the items that need to be purchased soon have a light hue of blue. Right below, for the kind of soon, a darker hue, and the not soon, even a darker, and then the inactive item is completely gray. Going a little deeper into each card's features, we could see on the left of the name a checkbox. If I go ahead and check that, that'll signify that this item is purchased. To the right, we have a little trash can icon. If I click on it, a modal pops up, specifying if I want to delete this item. If I'm not, then I'll click no. The item is still there. If I do, I click yes, and the item disappears. I'll go ahead and try that for another one. Let's say I don't want the strawberries. I'll go ahead and click yes, and the item is gone. Next, Danny will go a little deeper into our back-end database using Firestore, and she'll go ahead and show off the add item components.
All right, thank you, Sam. So since we were talking a little bit about the database, I want to jump into the structure of the database and why we made the decisions that we did within Firestore. So taking a look at this database, you'll see that we have a collection of groceries This is going to be our shopping items divided out by individual users. So looking here under groceries, we're going to have all of these documents. These documents are named with the user tokens that are generated when you create a list. So diving a little bit further, each of these documents, you can create another collection within. So what we decided to do was create a collection of items within each of these documents. So for instance, looking at this Noah Lair's Sense, we can look at our collection of items, and this will now list all of the items that are associated with this one user. This is going to help in app responsiveness. Our speed's going to be a lot better because the database doesn't have to query through thousands of items to find ones that are associated with the user. It just has to find the one user token and populate those items. It also helps with scalability when you're talking about if our app were to blow up and have thousands upon thousands of users, we're clearly going to need to make some adjustments at that point, but it's going to be a lot more user-friendly and a lot quicker to query through the database in that way. So thinking about the database, adding items to the database, we're going to talk through our add item list. So here you're going to be asked for an item name. So I'm going to do something that I don't believe is on the list right now, but we're going to find out. So let's say I want some tangerines. I want to buy those within the next couple of weeks. And then let's say that I bought them last on the, not September. Apparently I have drop downs. There we go. Let's say I bought them on the 15th of August. So that's going to say that was, about 2.5 weeks ago. If I submit, I'm going to get a nice modal that pops up that says, hey, tangerines have been added. And then the screen itself, all of the items will clear so that you can enter a new item without having to manually clear anything. So if I try and add tangerines again, let's spell it differently this time. Not spell it, let's capitalize the I. Let's say I need it soon this time. It's going to say, hey, that already exists on your list. And if we go back to our list here, we should be able to find, there's my tangerines with the first spelling I had with that capital T. Everything looks awesome. And it shows that I last purchased it in August, which is great. The only other thing here that's pretty cool is, let's say you don't enter an item or you don't enter when I should purchase this next for whatever reason. If you try and submit this form, it's going to tell you you need a name and you also have to select when you want to buy this item next. Just to make sure that we're not getting anything populated into the database that is not valid values for us to use and ingest in the list. So next I'm going to hand it off to Yolanda, who's going to talk a little bit about our accessibility and the responsiveness of our app and what we were able to implement there.
Thank you so much, Danny. That was awesome. So as Danny explained, we have a very awesome app with Woot. I'm going to show you a little bit about our responsiveness. I'm just going to, do you guys have problem looking at apps on your phone or your tablet? You know what? Don't worry. Woot, we got that covered for you. So I'm going to show you to pretend that we're on our fancy iPhone. So just going to show it real quickly here. We have, let's see, iPhone 10. And as you can see, it's still beautiful. It's still streamlined. You can scroll it. It's all in, it's responsive, and you click on it, it pops down. If you want to delete it, we still have the modal pop up. Sure, I want to delete the rice. And then as also, if you want to click on it, say, hey, we just bought that rice today, I'll click on it and no issue there. Little side, so it changes to, if you want an added item, you could still add item. Let's do muffin, and we'll click. And as you can see with Woot, it still works as if you were on your computer. So let's try it with a tablet. So if you're with your grandparents and they only have an iPad because they don't have a computer, Woot still works with them too. So as you can see, an add item, we're going to add in water because that's the most important thing to have in the household. We need it soon. It's been hot lately. Our grandparents are taken care of. Water already exists in the list. So let's make sure. So we're going to go, let's look for water. Beautiful. It's right there. And as you can see with Woot, it works with an iPad. It works with the iPhone. Let's try something non-iPhone, a Pixel 2 XL. As you can see, it still works. It's responsive. And let's go try a different page, add item. So beautiful. And of course, there's our little token. And let's try another feature. Surface Duo. As you can see everything as you typically would see either on a tablet or a computer. And also, let's go ahead and go into regular mode. With accessibility, if you hover, we also make sure that it's everybody can have the use of it. So under the accessibility, we have the label, please enter an item. So then if someone uses a screen reader, they know what to put in there. And it's keyboard flexible. So it's also the same thing right here. So we want to make sure our app is user friendly and majority of our user can use it. I believe, and then as you can see in here for our submit button, it tells the screen reader as well that it's a button that when they push it, it should submit the form. And if they don't have a mouse, you could also tab it. As you can see, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm tabbing through different features and I could still submit. I will pass it back to Tatiana, which she did a lovely introduction to our app.
Thanks very much, Yolanda. And once you're done entering items on your list and you want to log out, our user-friendly logout button will help you do that. Just click right there. You'll be taken right back to the landing screen. We hope you love Woot Woot.